Monday Morning House Calls, sponsored by UK Healthcare.
Welcome back to Mountain News This Morning. Today we're being joined by Dr. Joe Kingray with UK Healthcare. Today we're talking about the human papillomavirus. Of course, in the last 10 years or so, maybe a little less, a lot of advances, at least, in a vaccine for the human papillomavirus.
Sure.
What's kind of brought that on? Is it just the research has gotten to the point where a vaccine is available?
I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, there's been a lot of concern over HPV. We know that most cervical cancers are caused by HPV. So obviously a lot of focus has been on that. How do we prevent cervical cancer from forming in the first place? If HPV is the major cause of it, then how do we prevent that? So a lot of research did go into, okay, how do we develop a vaccine to prevent HPV? And thus the vaccine came available.
And how does that vaccine work? I understand it's not just a single shot, right?
That's correct. It's a series of 3 shots. Typically, there's one shot that's called Gardasil, and you typically give it a few months apart in between the dosages, and you can start in adolescence, even up to the age of 26 years of age. It's recommended as part of routine vaccination.
Why the cap age of 26?
That's a good question. So a lot of sexual activity and things, especially as far as being in different relationships, typically occurs in that age. I think that's a lot of the reason for it. Also, as we grow older, our immune systems rev up some more and are able to fight things off a little bit easier. So I think part of the thought process was after that age, you're going to probably be able to fend it off to some degree. And also at that time, you're seeing a lot more pap smear screening done than at a younger age.
And of course, is there any other transmission besides sexual for the human papillomavirus?
Possibly different contacts, but sexual contact is obviously the main way it's going to get spread, simply because of the areas that it grows in.
Okay. One thing that kind of initially with that particular vaccine, it was really only available for girls. Not the case anymore, right?
That is correct. So the thought process was at first, okay, let's prevent cervical cancer, so let's get the girls vaccinated, and it was originally only approved for use in females. Then the thought process changed a little bit and said, okay, if we're vaccinating females and we're catching some of the girls with HPV prevention, then should we do the same for males? Also, it does help prevent HPV problems for the male and also transmission to the female if the male's not able to get it in the first place. So now it's recommended for boys and girls as well.
All right. Dr. Kingray, thanks for joining us, and Mountain News This
Thank you.
Morning continues in just a moment.